I'm Johnny Scoville, and this is Chase the Heat. Kevin Bane. You gotta know Kevin Bane. What a grower he is. Well, I've got some amazing peppers. You saw the one on the thumbnail. I'm gonna get to those in just a minute, but I want to show you some pods. It's gonna be a good week. I have pods from a number of growers right now, and this is just spectacular. Let me show you some of my favorites before I get to the peppers for this video. There's some really, really cool peppers here. All right, let me show you something. This is an Optima mustard in F5s, all right? Just a gorgeous pod, beautiful shape. Look at this one. This is called a Sunny Blaze Beetle. Look at that. Isn't that just a gorgeous pod? I love yellow peppers, so here's an amazing one. This is a mustard maze one, but it's just, which I've eaten before, but just a beautiful example of one. Just incredible. Look at that. It's fantastic. This is a great one. This is a crinkle orange, which is kind of neat. I love the looks of this one also. But the one I'm really pumped about for tomorrow, I'm going to tell you a little bit about it just for a second. This is a cross between a Fatale Gourmet Jigsaw and a Grim Reaper, and it's called a Requiem. Just a great name for a pepper and a spectacular shape, just a vicious looking thing, isn't it? Since I opened this box, I've been looking at this pepper going, what does that look like on the inside? I can't wait. But let me show you what I'm going to be eating today. And you saw the thumbnail, ultra exotic crosses. I think if you polled a bunch of people and said, hey, Johnny's going to grow this year, what do you think he's going to grow? What peppers do you think he'd be growing? I think most people would say, oh, he's going to grow primatales. I think most people would probably assume that I would grow the hottest peppers that I could get my hands on. And you would be wrong. I'm sure I'd have a couple in the garden, but these really ultra weird exotic crosses get my attention. This one, look at this. You know what that is? You wouldn't be able to tell by looking at it. I didn't. This is a cross between a Moruga scorpion and a hatch chili. Are you kidding? You guys understand how cool that is? A Moruga hatch, orange by the way, obviously. And this one, listen, Kevin's very excited about this one. Hang on a second, I won't be able to talk about it intelligently. I want to give props to who deserves it. Kevin grew this. Look at this. This is a Flavor Bomb Orange is the name of it. And it's way more exotic than it looks. Listen to what this pepper is. First of all, Michael Davis created this, so well done, Michael. It's called an Ají Caribbean. What he did was he crossed an Ají Amarillo. It was a cross between an Ají Amarillo to a Caribbean red habanero. It was selected for Kevin by Bacadum Genetics. What he did was then cross it to a Tempest Scorpion. All right? The Ají Amarillo genetics show up in a very unique way. The flavors are super concentrated, he says. You see what I'm saying about ultra exotic weirdness? It's just, I'm really, really excited about that. I'm going to do the Flavor Bomb Orange first. And I'm going to be taking pictures for Instagram, so be patient with me if you don't mind. But man, I'm excited about this. Let's see, let me get the camera ready too so I don't waste a whole lot of your time. Isn't that funny? You can hear it cut through the pepper. All right, so here's the interior. It is way stronger aromatically than you would think. Hang on a second. My camera is not cooperating with me, so just bear with me for 1 second. I apologize. All right. And I'm going to cut open the Moruga Hatch Orange. Now, I know that Kevin is super excited about the Flavor Bomb Orange, and I'm excited too, but the Moruga Hatch Orange to me is just, look at the inside of that. Man, what a cool pepper. Okay, just grab a quick picture here, people. All right, they smell amazing. But these are just very, very weird crosses. Like if I grew in 100,000 years, I don't know if I'd ever think to cross these. And if I thought about it, I wouldn't know how. So I appreciate what the effort that creates these things. All right, so this is the first one. It's the Flavor Bomb. The aroma, it's so much stronger than you would expect from a little pepper. Like when I cut it open, sometimes I'll cut like 10 peppers open. That's kind of what the room smells like. This did not smell like one pepper. One more time. There's the interior. All right, so here we go. The Flavor Bomb Orange. I'm Johnny Scoville. Thank you, Kevin Bane. This is Chase the Heat. You know what's interesting? Just like it was very strong aromatically, for a pepper so little, the flavors were very strong. He said he used the word concentrated. I'd say they're very, very strong for the size of the pepper. It was super fruity. It's interesting. When you think about what's in there, we have an ají Caribbean, or excuse me, ají Amarillo crossed with a Caribbean red habanero, then crossed into a Tempest Scorpion. So there's a lot going on in there. It has great flavor. It's fruity. There was a slight bit of sweetness in the beginning that dissipated very, very quickly. There was no bitterness and no floral notes. So it was just fruity at first, fruity all the way through. Sweet for a split second. That went away very quickly. And then just that strong pepper flavor. I think what's given the heat is coming from the Scorpion, the Tempest Scorpion. It's hotter than you would think. Well, I don't know. It's got a red habanero in it. Ají Caribbean is not a very hot pepper. And the red habanero, you know. But the Tempest Scorpion, that's got some heat. Visually, it looks more like the ají Amarillo than anything else, but it's certainly picking up the flavor, the heat from the Scorpion, because it's way, way hotter than you'd ever expect an ají Amarillo to be. Even though it was a mild looking pepper, like if you looked at it, you'd never say, oh, it's going to be a screamer. If you looked at it, you wouldn't get the same thought that you get looking at this, right? But the flavor, it had some heat to it. A non-chili head would be troubled by that. I'm not joking. A non-chili head would be freaking out because it's a lot hotter than they'd expect. If you're a chili head, this is probably a 6. No. Yeah, probably a 6 and up. So really what it did was it picked up the shape, the phenotype. It looks a lot more like an ají Caribbean. And the heat is comes from the Scorpion. The Caribbean red habanero, I'm not really sure what influence that's putting on the pepper. Because to me, tasting it, I'm picking up more of you kind of get the sweetness from the fruitiness is from the ají, I think. And the heat's from the Tempest. So I think of the three, I'm least, as far as being able to put my finger on it, the Caribbean red habanero is the one that I can't really figure out what's going on there. But it's a great pepper. It's already peaked and it's on its way down. So it was a kind of a flash burn. Also, you got to remember, if you look at me and then you get pods and you expect to have the same result, number one, it's going to be a lot hotter to you than it is to me. And I'm going to, like, if I have the hottest pepper there is, I will start at baseline, meaning I haven't had anything hot. I'll eat, it can be it can be a Reaper, it can be a chocolate primatale, it could even be a warthog. But I can go from baseline to peak and back to baseline in about 10 minutes, 15 minutes. You get a pepper with really long legs. Sometimes it can go 20, but I go from peak or from baseline to baseline very quickly. If somebody's new at the game and you saw this and you're like, I want to eat some of those peppers, and he makes them sound so good, you're gonna burn a lot longer than I do. All right, somebody who's brand new at that, this wouldn't have peaked already. You'd still be burning, I promise. So expect a longer burn if you're looking at me and kind of, you're gonna have a different experience than I do. Now the next one we're gonna go to is the Moruga hatch. And this to me is so cool. A Moruga scorpion crossed with a hatch. Now hatch peppers are relatively famous. New Mexico hatch, when they come in season, it's all hatch all the time. You drive around and every sign, everything, every restaurant, it's got hatch. It's a very, very popular pepper. It's a great tasting pepper. It's not very hot and it's got great flavor. So here what we've done is they've crossed a Moruga with a hatch. That's just incredible. This does not smell nearly as strong aromatically as the Flavor Bomb Orange did. It was a much smaller pepper. But it's got a large placenta for the size of the pepper that it is. Veins running up the entire length of the pod. Beautiful shape. But tell me, if you're, to people that don't know anything about peppers, and it's okay, because that's how we learn, right? But like when I first got into peppers, if someone sat in front of a camera and said, this is a hatch cross from the Moruga, I would have been like, so, eat it. It wouldn't have meant a thing to me. But having been in peppers for a long, long time and knowing peppers, this is a bizarre cross. It's like crossing an elephant with a giraffe. It's a weird cross. I would never have thought to do it. So I'm really excited about this. Let me tell you what I think is going to happen. Hopefully, it picks up the flavor of the hatch and the heat of the Moruga. If it would do that, if that's what happens with this pepper, it's wicked exciting, right? I'm a pepper geek, you guys. I really am. I mean, things that trip my trigger aren't going to be the things that trip most people's trigger. But I'm excited about this. So here we go. Thank you, Kevin. Moruga Hatch Orange. Wow. Holy moly, that was sweet. It was way sweeter than I expected. Now, I bit the first half. The second half had the placenta, which is going to be a little bit more, it won't be as sweet because the seeds tend to be bitter. But the first half was very sweet. The second half is sweet. And at first, I thought it only picked up the hatch flavor and it's not going to be very hot because the burn was very delayed. Now the burn is ramping up and it's much hotter than the Flavor Bomb Orange was. Twice as hot. And it's still climbing. So it picked up the flavor of the hatch and it's got the heat of the Moruga. That is a dream pepper. Wow. I know Kevin was excited about the Flavor Bomb Orange and it's a delicious pepper. It really is. But the Moruga Hatch Orange, what an incredible pepper. It's still climbing. strange burn. Not the quality of the burn or where it's burning is the strange part. It's burning the back of my throat on the roof. Very, very top of my throat, the palate in the very, very back is where it's burning. Not in the base of my throat, not in the bottom of my throat, but literally on the upper palate in the very, very back of my mouth. Odd. Like, that's really weird. What a strange pepper. Okay, it's peaked and it's on its way down. That was hot. For a pepper, it picked up the Moruga heat, but really was delicious. You don't get Morugas that are sweet like that. That was yummy. On a scale of 1 to 10 for the Hatch Orange, if you're a newbie, don't eat it, because it could make you decide not to eat peppers anymore. If you're a chili head, that's going to be... I said that the first one would be a 6, the second one would be a 7, which only sounds like a 1 notch up, but it's a lot hotter than the first one was. What a fantastic mix. Seriously, for the growers out there, please comment. Aren't these weird? Seriously, the flavor bomb, what a strange combination. The ají, Amarillo, the Caribbean Red, habanero, and the Tempest Scorpion. That's a strange combination. And then to mix a Hatch in with a Moruga. For the growers out there, would you have thought of that? I honestly, I never would have. Now, but they're super excited. I promise you, when I grow, and I will at some point. Right now, I'm busy with a lot of things. When I grow, that's the Hatch, Moruga Hatch. Right here, people. That is a pepper that I'll be growing. That's no joke. Delicious. Now tomorrow, I think what I'm going to do tomorrow, I'm probably going to compare these two, because they're just spectacular. The Requiem, tell me that Requiem that doesn't look scary. Right? Just a gnarly, really grotesque looking thing. And when I say grotesque, I mean that in the most beautiful way. So cool. Kevin Bane, what a grower. What a guy. Listen, he's Bane strain. That's where it came from. So do me a favor, you guys, to check out Kevin and get some pods. He's a great grower. He's a super knowledgeable dude, and he's friendly as can be. In the description box, I'm going to see a link for Kevin. But wow, those are the coolest crosses. Those are the most exciting crosses I've had in a while. Weirdness to me is really, really fun. Quirky and weird, love it. What a great mix of peppers that was. See, to give you a good example, I'm probably, now they weren't super hot peppers, but my heat right now is maybe a 1. And I promise you, if you're new at eating chilies and you ate both of those, it would take you an hour before you'd be back to 1. You'd be hurting for a while. And I'm only telling you, it's not a brag thing. What I'm telling you, there's so many people that watch these videos and go, that's it, I'm buying it. I can't watch them eat any more peppers. I'm finally going to buy a box. For those people, when a box of peppers, of super hots, come to you, please understand that you're going to have a different experience than what I'm telling you. The other thing, that you may not taste the flavors that I'm tasting, and here's why. The biggest reason to have a high tolerance for peppers isn't to do this, when your friends are eating peppers. That's not the point of it. It's not a bragging right thing. It's not a bravado thing. What it is I want to taste more thing. If your tolerance is really low and you were to eat this, you would not taste a thing. And the reason for that is your window of opportunity to taste and describe these flavors would be that big. And I'm not fooling, because that's how long it would take before you're overrun with pain. And when your brain, our brain, you have people that say, I do a lot of things at once. No, you don't. You do one thing at once. Even people that, like, I have ADHD all over the place. And I'm always bopping around. But I promise you, I'm only thinking of one thing at a time. That's how we are. So when you put a pepper in your mouth and you're not accustomed to heat, and that heat attacks you, that's all your brain is focused on. If your brain, think about it, it's a triage of important things to focus on. Do you think your brain's going to focus on pain or flavor? For self-preservation, your brain is going to focus on the pain and not the flavor. That's the reason that happens. So if your tolerance is low and you eat this pepper, you're not tasting a thing. I promise you, you're not. However, with a very high tolerance, my window of opportunity is this big. I can eat 20 peppers, and on the 20th pepper, I'm still telling you what it tastes like. And I'm not making it up. I'm not making it up. I'm telling you what I'm tasting. And if you want to taste more, and the reason I say that, I promise you, there are people, I've had emails where someone said, no, you lied. It didn't taste fruity at all. No, it did to me. So seriously, guys, if you want to increase your tolerance, you're going to have a way more fun, a way better experience eating pods than if you don't. It's just the truth. Now, if you're interested in raising your tolerance, I would urge you to check out Pepperology. It's going to be up at the top here. Pepperology is a series, a whole bunch of videos. So you want to be a chili head. Talks everything about it. Talks about raising your tolerance in a thoughtful, intelligent, rational way so as not to hurt yourself. The analogy I use is going into a gym. If you walked into a gym and you see a guy with arms like this and he's benching like a Volkswagen, he didn't start off doing that. You know that. He started off doing just the bar. He looked like Pee Wee Herman. And eventually he built his way up and now he has huge arms. Well, it's just like that with peppers. You don't start off eating and enjoying this. It's taken me an awful long time to get to a point where I can love peppers like this. However, you can get there. So if you want to, check out the Pepperology. You'll see Kevin Bane in the description box on the bottom. You're going to see my son, Johnny Scoville Jr., and the Lifeboat. Please check those channels out. They're important. My son does what I do, and he's great at it. And the Lifeboat is a great channel about maintenance for yourself. If you have something in your past you're trying to put behind you, or a trauma, or an addiction of any type, please check that out. Again, up on the top, Pepperology. Please check those out and check out all the challenges I've done, 580 of them. I appreciate you guys watching. Thank you, Kevin Bane. I love you guys. I'm Johnny Scoville, and this was Chase the Heat.